are you talking about? You just voted to have him pave according to the road plan. No, stop it. And Mr. Brissette, there's his email, same thing. All at the same time. Late morning. That's what you do. And that is violative of his rights under the Whistleblowers Protection Act. I am putting on the record then Exhibits 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, demonstrating just what I've outlined. So this is not a proceeding that is as it appears. It's illegal, number one. It violates the statutory process. The substance of it is a sham. It is retaliatory, retaliating against my client for his lawful exercise of his whistleblower protection rights, which happened to embarrass 3 counselors, Mr. Brissette and the chair and Mr. Dumont. And that's the only reason why you're moving against him in this illegal meeting. Now, as his counsel, I am advising him, and I understand he's taking my advice. We will not participate in an illegal meeting. We are leaving. Whatever you do tonight is illegal and will be of no effect. If you make us get a court determination, that will be the determination. And that has nothing to do with whistleblower protection rights. You terminate my client, and you have perfected his cause of action under Maine's Whistleblower Protection Act. That includes attorney fees. You're not going to like it. You do whatever you want to do. We're not participating in any illegal hearing.
So you're not going to have anything to say at the hearing?
Absolutely nothing. We're not attending the hearing. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
I would suggest that you not accept the exhibits. First of all, they're not signed, and somebody who offers no witnesses or testimony, and you probably shouldn't accept exhibits. I don't think it makes a difference, but you know, these exhibits are mostly minutes and documents that you already have in any event.
But we don't need to accept these.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have accepted those in our formal duty as
Well,
counselors.
right, I leave that up to you, but there are some deficits in some of these because they are not the better versions of the documents that you yourselves probably already have. And if you accept these later on in the road, they might say that you have exhibits from this hearing that are unsigned.
These are not acceptable.
But it's up to you.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, I make is there a motion not to accept these exhibits?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Yeah, second.
All discussion?
My only concern here is we've already taken action on these minutes by refusing to accept them, which we've already accepted them, other than the fact that these are not signed. That's my comment.
Next comment, Gary?
I agree. I mean, regardless if they're, have you requested the signed copies?
Oh, well, we don't have to accept those since we already have the minutes that are accepted.
But not everything in that file is in those minutes.
Right, but there's a section of them, so we don't want somebody using one section against us, bring up the whole thing.
It's not solely the signatures, it's also an additional problem that he actually offered no evidence. He said, basically, I'm going to talk at you, offer no evidence, we're not going to participate, here's the documents. That's problematic in and of itself. It's up to you whether you want to accept documents from somebody who says that they're not going to participate in the hearing because they're saying it's the
No, it's not acceptable for me. All in favor of not accepting them? Opposed? 2. This gentleman here was quite an orator, and I think that he went on with his stories, but everything that he said, and I'd say that about us meeting on the street was completely false. That we met there to look at the road, and that was my intentions of having all the council go look at the road. There was no discussion of any business while we was at the road. But the following evening, when they called the meeting, these two, with Mr. Brissette, they called the meeting, that was done outside in the parking lot here. And 3 councilors was together, which constituted a meeting. And they said, we'll email one another and we'll call a special meeting for Thursday, which they did. Well, Mike Reset found out that it was in a legal meeting that you had, that's when he canceled out, and that's when he called. So there's a different side to the stories that we're hearing here this evening. And it was not Mr. Duman's driveway.
Actually, I'm
That would be in favor.
I'm not on trial, or I'm
No.
not, I'm the hearing.
I do want to rebut that statement, okay? We had just left the council meeting where you did not accept the motion from Mr. Levesque.
Mr. Reset.
No, Mr. Levesque, I'm sorry, Mr. Brissette,
Mr.
you didn't
Brissette.
accept his motion. We went outside and you said, we'll take up the next meeting. We got outside and Al says, oh, I'm on a fishing trip next week. Maybe we need to meet earlier. So we said, okay, everybody sent an email to the town manager. That was not an illegal meeting. We didn't discuss the
It
issue.
wasn't Randy Cannon
Actually,
that
in
said,
all fairness, there were three of us there, the town manager was there, and we all agreed to send Randy an email saying that we did not want to tar that road. That was a decision made by three
We
councils
said we
together.
wanted to discuss it because he wanted to be
No.
there.
that
We
was an
decided
illegal
not to
meeting.
tar that road.
Okay, gentlemen, that's enough of that. We're gonna, right now, we're
Excuse me,
gonna,
Chair.
okay.
Mr. Chair,
Go.
you keep saying enough of that when you want to terminate the discussion.
No, I didn't want to terminate the discussion. I wanted to tell you exactly, I think it's on the record, exactly what happened, and we'll know, and it's notable that what happened, and we have witness to it. As far as all intents and purposes, this hearing would be closed and we'll go into our deliberation? Is this what we do?
Why,
This is open, we can just,
if anybody else wanted to offer anything, I mean, you know, this is the time, if you wanted to discuss it further.
Is there any further discussion that you have here?
Chris, are you referencing open to the public for discussion or open to the council only?
Well, it's difficult because the person who would be opposing the action is left, so I don't know that anybody could call witnesses, but if the council wants to, you know, discuss it,
We could
before
discuss
going
this
into
all
executive
night long,
session.
we've been discussing it for the last 2 months.
Okay. Right,
You can look at tapes, you can look at meeting minutes, whatever, it's been discussed. I firmly believe they've got their minds made up, period, and the discussion.
I just want to make sure you had an opportunity before.
Well, the thing of it is, the story that was told here this evening is completely untrue. And, order here, no, we're not gonna take any,
actually, this is public opening, if they decide, you know, basically to hire him or not. He's left, basically, he's made his decision, and contrary to what you did, Gary, I didn't, make up my mind, or decide one way or another until tonight. And I was trying to be as open-minded as possible. I said, give him a fair hearing, that's exactly what I intended to do. He doesn't see any fault in what he did. In fact, he's accusatory of us of things that aren't even applicable to his being removed. So as far as that goes, I am done now. And I do, and in fact, I make a motion that this be his final resolution according to Maine State Title 30A, that this be his final resolution and he can be permanently removed.
what?
I agree with that.
You second?
I'll second that.
Any more
I'll
discussion?
get the actual job tape.
Any other discussion?
Oh, yeah. You're gonna tell me that everything that was said here tonight is untrue.
Yeah.
Okay. When this was discussed between us concerning whether or not it was a legal meeting or not, they are correct. The only meeting that had been opened was the assessors, and he's not required to be in an assessor's meeting. You adjourned till the following night,
Yeah.
We were only in the assessors
Let him
meeting.
speak, let him speak, moving
and
on.
we brought that up to your attention the following night.
And we
You went to MMA, and he did read what you wrote to MMA. We questioned that also.
And we could not have a council meeting because he got them walked out. And if I remember correctly.
No,
there was
you
something
guys
that had
walked
enough of
out,
this.
you guys walked out when you said, let's move to adjourn till tomorrow night, okay? The reason you tried to adjourn is because Mike was not gonna be here. I also questioned why, because we still had a quorum. You guys had an agenda. That was made perfectly clear.
Okay, what does this have to do with Randy?
We were in an assessor's meeting.
Okay, but this doesn't have anything to do with Randy. This is
Yes,
the point.
because you're firing him for walking out of a meeting, an assessor's meeting, which we tried telling you, You never opened up the council meeting.